Hello, everyone, and welcome into episode 1 of my new series, Guildcraft. Now, this is the first series I will ever be doing on Java Edition, so let's hope this is a good first introduction. So, we start off like any world, starting a decent source of food, going around gathering seeds to start a farm. We're gonna start killing some sheep so we can sleep through the night, so we don't have to deal with all that comes with nighttime. So we have to, of course, kill all 3 of the sheep, get a bed, get some more seeds, and start planning a crop farm. But that's not all I want to do today. See, with a new server and a new world, there's a lot of opportunity for me to try new things. And of course, with this being my first time ever on Java, I think this is the perfect opportunity to learn a lot more about this other edition of Minecraft. So today we're going to jump into the start of this series by defining what exactly Guildcraft is, introducing some new members possibly, and just getting our start in this new world. But first things first, it's down to the mines with us because that's how you have to start almost any world. So throwing out the hoe here, and we will be going down in just a second. Now, with enough charcoal to go ahead and craft ourselves some torches, I can go in and start mining. Now, a nice thing we have on this world is the mod that allows you to hold torches and see light. It's really useful, and the first time I've ever got to play with something like this. Of course, you may also see that we have a voice mod on. You can see the voice chat indicator go on a couple times, but as you can see here, me realizing that I can use the torches as light in my offhand is really useful, and there's the icon. But this is a vanilla server mostly. We do, of course, have a couple of quality of life things, being the voice chat mod, being the light mod, and a few others like a player head mod. It is still going to keep the vanilla feel, at least for the time being. We'll see how this first season goes. But as I begin mining down in hopes for iron, I think it's time to start our first little montage of the series. And after all that, we finally have a decent set of iron tools. And while I probably am going to need to go down to get a bit more iron, just to get some backup tools and maybe some redstone components for later, for the time being, we can kind of take a step away from the mine and really appreciate what we've done thus far. At this point, I am still the only person on the server, but hopefully that will soon change. But now is whenever I want to create some of the first buildings around the area. So of course we're going to have to go ahead, clear out some of these floating trees with our new axe, clear out some of the land, and finally start building. So let's clear everything up real quick. But now, with the area all cleared out, I want to go exploring. As you can see up there by that waterfall, there's a little bit of a patch of wheat. And while there hasn't been any other players, I do know that this is probably a village, which is really nice to have close by, not just us, but also spawn, as we're not too far removed from it. So, let's go up there, check that out, and see what spoils we can get, and we can see if we can maybe start up a trading hall soon in this series. So, after exploring around the village for a bit, I found little to no loot. And while the place was overall fun to explore, and it definitely will be a vital location as we move forward with easy access to villagers, for now, my time is not best spent here. So, I think what the next thing to do is to go back down the waterfall, back to my base, and start prepping even more for the first build we're going to make on this server. So for this build, we have to go ahead down and start mining up the andesite because we are going to make a well for the first build. And This will become important later because there's actually a reason nobody else has joined the server yet. See, I want to prepare this for other people so that when they join, they can join up directly into what I'm calling guilds. We will basically be creating teams that will work together closely in building aspects, hopefully. That's the plan of the season. So, at least for this first server test. So, with all the andesite I just got, and I'll probably be getting more, let's go ahead and jump into our first build. And I get fancy replay mod, so this is gonna look really, really cool. And so, the first ever build on the Guildcraft server has been constructed. This well will stand as a symbol of all of the guilds as they begin to form throughout the coming episodes. But for the time being, we have the well, which will soon become something bigger, but for now, it's just a cool little structure that gives some character to the world and to my guild whenever that is eventually formed. So, this isn't all we're gonna do today, though, because I still have one last thing to do. My gear is good, sure, but could it be better? Yes. So I think we're going to wrap up this episode by taking a quick trip down to the mines and getting ourselves geared up with some diamonds. Let's go. And finally, we got most of the things in this episode done. We've got a good start. We've built our first structure. Of course, you can see in the time lapse I did go ahead and get myself some pumpkins and filled the thing up with water. And now we're going to craft ourselves some armor so that we can get ourselves fully suited up for the upcoming episodes. So with that, this has concluded episode 1 of Guildcraft. I hope to see you and some other members in the next episode.